Mark, I'm excited to have you on because our listeners oftentimes have questions about commercial real estate, about appraisals, about this and that. And, now we've got a fantastic resource. You've been at this for a while, right? A few years. Could you share a memorable experience from your early days managing hotels and restaurants that shaped your approach as a commercial real estate appraiser?
When I was younger, I was thrown in to manage a Marriott property that was, to be honest, kind of failing a little bit.
Hmm.
They were not doing well. It was in a market that I didn't understand. I didn't know the market. I got sent there. My plan was to go in on a Friday, meet everybody, uh, and then come back on Monday and start. I went on that Friday, ended up staying for 3 weeks, went out and bought clothes because it was just that backwards. But that really taught me how to dive in and then really research and understand the market,
Hmm.
and really understand, you know, how each individual market works. And I've been able to transfer that over to the real estate appraisal world where, in each market, there are sub markets, there are micro markets, there are individual neighborhoods and, sections of neighborhoods. And, those really, there needs to be a lot of analysis and the appraisal to really figure that out and to apply that to the appraisal and figure out what the property values are. Because one street
Right.
over could be
Yeah,
completely different than
that's right.
on the next block.
Mark, in your opinion, okay, let's talk about the current market. How do the current market conditions impact the valuation of different property types, such as hotels, apartments, and retail spaces?
Most of my work is done in Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts.
Okay.
Centered a lot around Providence. And each market is different. So some things that we're starting to see or that we're seeing right now in the commercial world, office space, for instance. I was just looking into this. What we're seeing is office properties are starting to stabilize.
Good.
They've come back from COVID. They haven't fully returned, but what we're seeing is, with the advent of work from home and all that, vacancy and occupancy, those are starting to stabilize, and those I think they're pretty much where they're going to be.
Mhm.
Same thing with rents. The trailing 12 months compared to the previous 12 months, there was only a 0.2% increase in rents. Right now, average office rent for Rhode Island is somewhere around 23.50. It's in that $23 range. Hotels in Providence are doing all right. Some of the out, the hotels in the other areas that used to benefit from sellouts in Providence, for instance, like in the Warwick market, those are still struggling. However, tourism-based hotels, those during COVID did amazing, and they recovered really well, really quickly, and those are still doing. Retail is starting to come back. Depends where. Depends how much tourism. Industrial has been strong. That proved to be very resilient during COVID,
Mhm. Mhm.
and there's maybe a little bit of an adjustment right now, but still pretty strong. Safe investment. Things like self storage, those also do well. That's a little saturated right now.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Honestly, the best market if you can get into is veterinary, surprisingly.
Wow.